episode that made me want to start my own podcast. This is my K drama episode. If you didn't listen to my first episode, I did say that I was going to talk about K dramas this episode. I am no expert on the topic. I am new to the K drama world. I started watching them this year, somewhat end of last year, but it wasn't consistent. I have to thank my sister for introducing me because it's changed my life. That's really dramatic, but I've been obsessed ever since. Um I completed 12. I am currently watching 5 at the same time right now. It's really addictive. Like the whole K-dramas are addictive, and they're very entertaining as well. So I do recommend checking some out. If you stick around, I will recommend some that you should start with. But again, like I said, I'm no expert, but there are like other resources out there, other sources out there that are helpful in what to watch first, understanding the K-drama world because it's a large one. Um, like some YouTube videos out there that are really helpful that I've like checked out as well. Just like type in some K drama, like be like K drama lists or K drama ranking or something like that, and you'll find some informative videos out there. I thought, why not just rank the K dramas that I've watched? I have a lot to say about them as well, so I thought, why not just make a podcast about it. I don't want to make it too long as well. There's a lot. Like I said, I've completed 12 or 12.5, and I'll explain why there's a point 0.5 there just now. So I think what's gonna happen, I think I'm going to read the synopsis of the show and then just give in my little 2 cents as to why they are in their current positions as well. I would also like to put a disclaimer that there will be spoilers and that I will try my hardest not to give too many spoilers so you actually do go out and watch it and enjoy yourselves. I also would like to say that once again, I do not speak Korean and that I will be butchering some names. I do apologize. I have my phone here in case I need to um hear what Google Translate's pronunciation is like, so I don't sound like a complete idiot, but I will try my hardest as well. Yeah, I think that's about it. It's a fantastic fandom. Um, Everyone so far, like from what I've experienced, everyone just seems so invested in every K drama that they watch, and everyone keeps saying that this is the best K drama that they've watched with like um every single show. Like, yeah, I like every comment on YouTube being like, "This is the best K drama I've watched," when it's like something completely different from another one. It's just a good time here on this side. I think we can start though. I've got my notes on this like next to me, so if you hear paper like swishing around, that's me just looking through my notes. Like I said, I've watched 12. I've completed 12 in this year. Um, that's nothing compared to what everyone else, like veterans, have watched since the beginning, I think. I don't know. Like, I know someone who's watched, I think my sister's watched like 20, like max, I think. I don't know. She's watched a lot. And like other people have been like watching K dramas for like 9 years. So obviously there's a lot there. Oh, also, I just like to explain that K dramas are structured differently from like American TV shows or British TV shows, like those mainstream TV shows. They are about 16 to 25 episodes. I might be wrong, but again, like I said in the beginning, there are like other sources out there that have like detailed information about K dramas. But from like what I've read and watched. There's like K dramas that range from like 16 to 25 episodes in a season, and they usually have only one season unless they like the long ongoing soap operas like Days of Our Lives, where they just like continue and have so many episodes. Unless they like those. I mainly watch my K dramas on Netflix as well. um what else? Oh, the length of an episode is usually an hour to like an hour and 30 minutes. They're long. Yeah, so you have to put some time aside to actually watch them, but like, they're addictive, like I said, like I already said, and they are very fun. The storytelling is fantastic. They tackle a range of topics. You'll see or you'll hear from the ones I'm going to be talking about just now, and they are just I can't really say anything about the directing and the editing. Like they all look great, like visually they're all pleasing, but I haven't done much research into the directors of the shows or the writers or the editors and like all that behind the scene aspect of it. So I can't really say, oh, the directing is like fantastic, because I don't know if I've seen that director's work or if I've seen that writer's work in comparison. So I'm not going to be speaking on that aspect, but I'm just going to be talking about the actors, because I have seen some of some of their works, um and the the stories as well, because they're all very different. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So to get started, I thought I would start off with the K-drama Uncontrollably Fond. It was released in 2016. I This is the zero point 0.5, the point 0.5. This also, it's last place because I haven't finished it yet. I have about 4 episodes left. It was, how many episodes are there? I think 20 in total. And I've got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I've got 4 episodes left, and I don't know if I'm gonna finish it yet or not, but that's why it is last on my list, because it doesn't look like I will be finishing it. The storyline and the synopsis, which I'll read just now, they sound it sounds like a K drama that would be like up there for me, but I couldn't finish it and I didn't enjoy it, so that's why it's lost. But the synopsis reads, also just I'm reading the synopsis from Wikipedia, so if my reading skills cringe you out, I'm sorry. So it goes, Shin Junyoung and Nuul were classmates who were separated during teenage years due to an ill-fated relationship, but later meet each other in adulthood. Junyoung is now a top actor singer, while Noel is a documentary producer. Noel had a tough childhood. Her father died in a hit and run, prompting Ul to quit school and make a living for herself and her brother. Jonyoung, on the other hand, had his life planned out for him. His mother wanted him to become a prosecutor to follow the footsteps of his estranged father, but an incident caused him to quit law school and become a singer-actor. The two reunited when Ul is tasked with filming Jonyoung's documentary. Jonyoung initially gives Noel a miserable time before finally agreeing to do the documentary, and eventually tries to win her heart back. Now that sounds like a very gut-wrenching story. Like, he finds out that he's sick, and then he wants to reconnect with her, and they want to be together, and that should be clear cut. You're gonna end up crying at the end, but I just couldn't get into the characters. The main guy, what's his name, Kim Woo Bin. I do understand that he is like loved in the Korea drama world. He's done God, There Is. Um, I can't even think of anything else, but like he's done that, and another actor that I will mention in another show in this ranking. But just for now, Kim Woo Bin, he doesn't do a great job for me. Like his performance just feels flat and overdone and like dramatic at sometimes. Like when he has to act like he's sick, I don't buy it, and it's very irritating to watch a show where the main character isn't giving you a performance that's believable. So I couldn't take um get myself to finish it. And then the characters as well, like John Young's mother, she is awful to him just because he didn't become a prosecutor and decided to become an actor slash singer, and she just treats him so terribly. And I don't think a parent should treat their child in that kind of way, like ever, if they decide to not follow the parents' dream. It's just not okay, and I couldn't root for her as well. Like she has a love interest kind of, and I couldn't be like, oh, that's cute. I just couldn't get into it. And then characters just kept doing the wrong thing. I got so frustrated. And I don't like when characters do that in a TV show, because like how am I supposed to root for everyone if everyone keeps frustrating me and keeps doing the wrong thing? Like I think in the synopsis it mentions that Noel had a tough childhood, and she had to kind of fend for herself. And the two guys, John Young and another guy, God, they didn't even mention his name. I forgot his name as well. But John John Young and the other guy, Noel's friend, they just make terrible decisions for her, and they shouldn't even be getting involved in her life to begin with. So, I was so frustrated. That's why I couldn't finish it. But I don't want to be bashing these K dramas. If you want to watch them, check them out. That's why I read the synopsis first before I said anything about them. Um, so if the synopsis kind of interests you, then go watch it. I don't think there are the K dramas on my list are bad, like terrible, but I just didn't enjoy them myself. I would recommend you check some of them out, but I wouldn't rewatch, or wouldn't they wouldn't be on the top recommended list. So that's why Uncontrollably Fond is that low, and I didn't finish it. Onto, what did I say? I watched 12. Yeah, so this one would be the 12th one. 12th one. The World of the Married, which was released in 2020, this year. Um, it's great, I think. It's a very spicy, very chaotic, high-end soap opera. That's how I can describe it to you. There's so much drama in the show and so much happening. The synopsis reads: Ji Suo is a revived family medicine doctor and the associate director at Family Love Hospital. She is married to Lee Tae-oh, with whom she has a teenage son, Lee Jong-yong. Sunwoo seems to have everything from a successful career to a happy family, but unbeknownst to her, she is betrayed by her husband and friends. Meanwhile, Tae-ho dreams of becoming a famous movie director. He runs a small entertainment and film company with the support of his wife. Even though he loves and cares for his wife, Tae-ho sets himself up in a dangerous position with an extramarital affair. There were like episodes, like the beginning episodes, I absolutely loved. I think it was the right amount of chaos and the right amount of pettiness from each of the characters. But as we went on, again, everyone kept making dumb ass decisions and I couldn't stand it. I hated the ending. I hated their son, and I hated Theo, which is the cheating husband. This man was hypocritical and annoying and so tall and long and lanky, and he was he I so many people did not respect this man, and I understand why, because he is garbage. He's so awful. And um the decisions that what's her name again, Sunwo, yeah, Sunwo made in regards to her ex-husband, because they do get divorced at some point. um oh, like she just, like, I understand that she had to keep somewhat of a relationship with him because of their son, but bad decision after bad decision. There was one moment that I had so much respect for her. It was at a dinner party with the woman that Teho was cheating with, was having an affair with, and her family, and then Sunwo, and then Teo. Like, they were all in a room together, we were all having dinner together. And the way this woman went off was poetic. She did such a great job. It was amazing. I was like, okay, great. I love you. Do your thing. Divorce his ass. Great. But then but then she, like, as the show went on, she just, again, terrible decisions. And she wasn't the only like, her and Theo weren't the only couple that had like marital problems. There was another couple in the show that had marital problems. And men are trash. Men are just awful people. I do have to say though that I did love one character, and unfortunately, like, she, what was her name? I wrote it down. Um, Min Hyun Seo. She was the best character. Like, she was introduced in the beginning, and then she left towards the end. But she, like, out of everyone, she was the best character. She left her abusive boyfriend. She got out of this toxic world of like high class the high class world and classism and everything like that. And I was just so proud of her at the end. I was so happy that she just made it out, and that she hope that she's thriving. Honestly, she was the best. But everyone else was just so frustrating. And I mean, Sunwo's friend, Doctor Friend, she kind of redeemed herself at the end as well. Like, she had a very good character development. I think she was the only one that did. I hated her in the beginning, but towards the end, I was like, okay, I kind of get where you're coming from, so you can be in my good graces. But everyone else, that's why it's lost. It's a good show, like, it's really good and it's very dramatic, but I couldn't deal with everyone's decisions and the way they were kind of written. So that's why it's 12th on the list. And then another one, which is also kind of like high end, rich looking, is Sky Castle, which was um, released in 2018. Now, with this one, this was the first one I actually watched. No, no, no. This is not the first one I watched. This is the first K drama I watched this year. Yeah, that's it. And I took my sweet time finishing it. My sister was so mad at me. I took a while to finishing it because it was long. Um, it was 20 episodes, including an episode, like a bonus episode where they just have like interviews and stuff. But I couldn't. At some point, again, the characters just ended up frustrating me. I think one thing about me, what I hate in TV shows, my pet peeve, is when we as an audience know a piece of really crucial information that another character needs to know, but they, like, that character that has that piece of information doesn't tell the character that needs to know that information, and now that character that is in the dark is left suffering. And it boils my blood. I hate it so much. I get so uncomfortable and I get very angry because I've invested so much time in these characters, and now they have to they have to suffer. Like, no, just okay, anyway, let me get to it. So, Sky Castle is a satirical drama that closely looks at the materialistic desires of the upper class parents in Korea and how they ruthlessly secure the success of their families at the cost of destroying others' lives. The drama revolves around the lives of housewives living in a luxury residential area called Sky Castle in suburban Seoul, where wealthy doctors and professionals live. I mean, professors, sorry. Where wealthy doctors and professors live. The wives are determined to make their husbands more successful and to raise their children like princes and princesses and to be top students. They want their children to top universities, so they use every way possible to get that. They spend billions of won to hire coordinators for college entrance exams. It's it's such a good story, and I think it's very fascinating, especially for like educators as well, to like see how competitive that world is. I know my mom loved it. Like, you could really relate it to, I went to a very posh like school, and it's kind of like the topics and the elements in the show kind of speak to that as well, and how a parent will do anything for their child and spend any amount of money for their children as well. And I really like that aspect of it as well. So, like, the story, great. The characters and the way that they finished the show irritated me, and that is why it's as low as it is. Um, I don't want to spoil because I do want other people to watch it if you want to watch it. But um yeah, it just deals with just a range of things. Like, this is the show that there's no romance in the show whatsoever. It's purely about like learning and bettering yourself as a person. We like there was talk of suicide, emotional abuse, classism, like education, children, and raising them. It's the topics, the themes of Sky Castle are really good, and I really recommend the show as well to, if you want to watch. But there's no romance, but I don't think that's important or anything like that. Just majority of the K dramas that I've watched are just about romance. So the ones that aren't, I do recommend because they do a good job in talking about other things and other topics, and Sky Castle is one of them. But again, the decisions that some characters made pissed me off, and the end pissed me off. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Moving on to 10. Crash Landing on You, 2019. Now, this is a popular one. I know a lot of people on the internet like this one. It's not my favorite. And I'll tell you why just now. So, Crash Landing on You tells the story of two star-crossed lovers, Yeon Sori, a South Korean fashion entrepreneur with her company Seri's Choice, and Yeon Seri, yeah, and Ri Jong-hyuk, a member of the North Korean element and captain in the North Korean Special Police Force. Again, that sounds very interesting. We have South Korea and North Korea, and like the politics there, and exploring that world. But it's purely a romance. It's very dramatic as well. I didn't. I think it's this low purely because of the secondary couple um, that was kind of killed off, and I was pissed about that. Like, oh my god, I was so angry, and it was towards the end as well. And they built them up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep, like, I would have stopped watching the show if they didn't have them, the secondary couple. But I couldn't get into the main couple. I couldn't get into the story, unfortunately. I mean, in the story they deal with, like, the main woman, Seri. She's very lonely, because she's the black sheep of the family, and like no one really pays attention to her, but she works really hard, but she's just very sad. And then Ri Jinhyok, again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong, but he is very closed off. His brother died, and he hasn't been the same ever since. Like, he used to be a piano player, but then he went into the military because his brother was in the military, and he doesn't show any kind of emotion towards anything. And I think that's what kind of pushed me away a little bit, because I'm sure Hyun Bin, who is the actor, the main guy, Hyun Bin is like a fantastic actor. I'm sure he is, but like, he was so boring to me, and I didn't like I didn't like his character at all. And I'm sure, like, if you want to create a romance and between the main characters, that they should be likable, like, at some kind of level. But he was so boring, and he was so one tone. I just, again, that's why it's at 10th place. I like, it would be higher. No, it wouldn't be higher. I think this is a good position. Like, I like the side characters as well. Like, their stories, like the people they meet on the way, very interesting. But it was forgettable to me. Like, very, very lovey-dovey. No, not lovey-dovey. No, it wasn't at all. I'm lying. It wasn't lovey-dovey at all. But like, the romantic aspect, I couldn't get into. The politics were kind of interesting. I don't know how accurate it is between North Korea and South Korea, but I want to do more research into that as well. Um, but yeah, it was fine. I think that's how I can describe it. I think right now, like, as we moving on up, the shows are just gonna be under fine. They're fine. Nothing special there. Moving on to the next one. 9, Guardian, The Lonely, and Great God. I love every single member of this main cast. I think they're fantastic. I think they do a great job. They're great. The main cast is fantastic. Now, Guardian is about Kim Shin, a decorated military general from Goryeo dynasty, is framed as a traitor and killed by the young king. Years after his death, he is cursed by the Almighty to stay immortal forever and endure the pain of seeing his loved ones die as punishment for the kills he committed in the wars to protect his country. He becomes an immortal goblin, helping people with his powers and being a kind man in spite of his grieving past. The only way to put an end to his immortality is the goblin's bride, whose aid in pulling out the sword will end his punishment, his painful immortality. I don't know why I just put in punishment there. I'm just deciding if I should read the second part. Yeah, I am. Jin Yun Tak is a bubbly high school student who remains cheerful and hopeful despite her tragic life. She summons the goblin by chance, and their fates begin to intertwine. The goblin's nephew, Yo Dwakwa, leases the goblin's house to a grim reaper, and the two end up living under the same roof. Yun Tak starts working a part-time job at a chicken store run by a charismatic young woman, Sunny. As the lives of Kim Shin, Grim Reaper, Jin Yong Tak, and Sunny interweave, a deeper story unfolds as they are not just strangers who met by chance, but people with deep-rooted relations. It's a great show. I absolutely love the show. like it said, Jin Young Tak is a bubbly high school student. That is my one gripe. I don't know what it is about the entertainment industry and having um really inappropriate relationships, like even actors as well, like your favorites. Who can I Leonardo DiCaprio, why does he date such young women? It's so weird. So yeah, that's like my only gripe, is that we start off with this love story. This girl is in high school. She's like 18, 19 at least. And the goblin, when he gets turned into this immortal being, he was 39 at the time, and now he's like 139. It's bizarre to me, like that age gap and that age range. They do age her, like there is some time that passed by in the show, I think about like 3 or 4 years, but like still she like they started off young. And I think that's why it's where it is now, the show ranking to ninth place, just because of that element. Like I don't understand why that she had to be so young and still in high school, like the end of high school. It was just weird to me. They could have made her like a university student, maybe, I don't know, but it could have been done differently. um the love story, yeah, I think that's what frustrated me, like between the main actors, between Kim Shin and Jin Yoon Tak. But the secondary love story is great. I love it so much. They're so very cute. It's between the Grim Reaper and Sunny, the chicken store owner. They're so cute and so like the Grim Reaper's so awkward and not in tune with people's emotions, kind of like he's a Grim Reaper. He doesn't really interact with human beings unless he's collecting their souls. So I think when he just kind of starts falling in love with her and they start having their interactions, I think it's adorable. And the actors that play Sunny and the Grim Reaper have another show where they start together, and I'll talk about that because it's high on my list because I love it and it's very sweet. This show, The Goblin, talks about destiny and death and being reborn. They do a lot of that in K dramas, like talking about rebirth, and I think it's very interesting, like the different shows that tackle the topic as well. But yeah, it's a good show. But again, my only gripe is the age gap between the the main characters. I did cry heavily in the show. It's very sad at the end, I think. I won't say what happens, but collect your tissues. I think this is the first supernatural show I watched. Is it? Yeah, it is. This is the first like show where we had like goblins and grim reapers, kind of supernatural aspect, and ghosts as well. Oh, the ghost was so kind to her. She could see ghosts. Oh, and the first episode is um also upsetting. I won't say what happens as well, but check it out. It's great. It's a good show. Just if age gaps like 19 and 39 slash 139 upset you, then I don't know. You can watch it if you want, but I don't. I didn't feel comfortable with it. I was hoping they would age her up, and I'm glad they kind of did, but still. Okay, I'm not gonna dwell too much on it. Everyone in the cast as well is very attractive. Gong Yoo, the goblin guy, the main guy, so beautiful. Also what's her name? Kim Go Eun. She's so good. I think she's like my favorite Korean actress currently. I've watched one movie of hers. I watched the show. I'm also currently watching another show of hers. And I think she does a fantastic job in every role. She's really good. On to the next one. 8 Love Alarm, which was released in 2019. This was the first K drama that I watched at the end of last year. This was the first one. I don't know why it was the first one. I did watch the trailer for it on Netflix. I think my sister was like, "Not watch it," and then we did. I don't know if I'm happy that this was my first one. I think I'll mention which one I hoped was my first, like I wished was my first one. But I guess this was fine. Like I didn't go watch another K drama right after this one. Like it took some time. Like I watched this one and then Sky Castle like after a couple of months. But yeah, Love Alarm revolves around the story of a disruptive technology that enables users to discover love through an application that notifies whether someone within the vicinity of a 10-meter radius has romantic feelings for them. Why is that so wordy? Basically, there's this app on your phone that tells you when someone in a 10-meter radius, it tells you whether that person likes you or not. I'm not very clear on how it knows that, like, knows your feelings and your feelings towards that person. I can't remember if they explain it or not. They probably do, but I just don't remember. I'm also questioning why it's so high up. It was a fine show. It was like the first, I think this one was produced by Netflix because it was the shortest one I've watched. It only has 8 episodes and the episode is only about like 40-50 minutes long. So I don't know. It might be produced by Netflix. I think they do that where they split it up into 2 seasons, which I don't enjoy because now I have to wait. Like I've waited a whole year for the second season, and they left on kind of a cliffhanger. I think. Um, I don't remember, but yeah, it's fine. Like it's really. I think I might move it down. It's really fine. Like compared to the other ones I've watched, this one it's like I wouldn't have started with this one. I don't know why it's so high up. I'm confused by it. But yeah, basically, again, it's a pure romance, K drama, just romance and drama and teenage love and stuff like that, melodrama. Nothing very special in the God, what is it called? In the themes and the themes like tackled. I think the one like takeaway from the show is that there is a second lead love interest, a male second lead love interest, and I've picked up that that kind of happens often in K dramas where the main character, the main girl likes this one guy and this one guy likes her back, but then like something happens and then the main character goes off and has a connection with the second male lead, and then you're left there being like, okay, maybe he was the better choice at instead of the first guy. It's weird. I don't know. There's a K drama I'm watching currently that does that. That's doing that as well. It's very frustrating to decide who to love. I'm not gonna call it a love triangle because it's not a love triangle. I don't believe that the standard definition of a love triangle, like in the entertainment world, like Twilight and Vampire Diaries, that's not a love triangle where Bella likes Edward and Edward likes Bella and then Jacob likes Bella. No, it should be Edward likes Bella, Bella likes Jacob, Jacob likes Edward. That's a love triangle. That's another another like story as well though. But yeah, I mentioned the lead. What else was there? I get this show was fine. There wasn't anything special, right? Yeah, it was fine and sweet. I don't know why it's so high. I'm so baffled by that. I should move it down. Maybe I'll do a part two where it's updated. Yeah, I can move on to the next one because there's nothing much to talk about here as well. Okay. Um, number 7. Oh, okay, yeah. Now we get into the category, like the part of the list where it gets good. Not great, but good. Like the top um 3, 4, the top 4 are great. This is good. 7. What's wrong with Secretary Kim? It's so sweet. Like there's no serious conflict. There's nothing to give you anxiety. There's no um it's just happy times. There's no big emotional screaming at your screen kind of moment. It's all happy times and it's good times and it's so sweet. So, what's wrong with Secretary Kim? The plot revolves around an ambitious vice chairman of a major corporation, Lee Yong-jun, and his highly capable secretary, Kim Mi-so. Misunderstandings arise when she announces that she will resign from her position after working with Lee Yong-jun for 9 years. Yong-jun will do whatever he can to make sure Mi-so stays by his side. Um, why I love this, I think everyone should start with this K drama. If you want to like get into that world of the K drama, this is the show you should start with. I think it's very lighthearted and very sweet and very goofy as well, and kind of just encapsulates the world of K dramas, the goofy kind of side of K dramas. Like they're obviously serious ones as well, but I think some of them will be a bit heavy to start with, but like this is very light and very just digestible as well. And I think you should start with this K drama. I'm also biased though because this K drama stars Park Se-joon, the love of my life. He is so gorgeous. I mentioned that he had a small role in Parasite in my last episode. I love this man so much. I think he's a great actor. I think he takes every role that he's in very seriously, and I think he just has fun with it, and he really gets to play in this one as well. Um, yeah, this K drama is a good time. I highly recommend it if you want to like start. Like it's a good baseline if you want to start the K drama journey. Um, yeah, it's just a happy-go-lucky show. There's not much conflict in it. Again, there's not much to say. It's just a good time. I think I can move on to the next one, which is Tempted, which was released in 2018. This show, I can describe it as Gossip Girl meets Cruel Intentions. That's yeah, this is that show. It's a romantic melodrama that depicts the lives of a young man and woman who begin to discover their true feelings whilst playing the dangerous game of love. It's based on a French novel of the 18th century. In an act of revenge, wealthy heir Kwon Shi-yeon makes a bet with his friends to seduce Yeon Tae-hee, a hardworking female college student who no longer believes in love after watching the demise of her parents' marriage. After Yeon Tae-hee meets Kwon Shi-yeon, her views on love begin to change. As Shi-hyun's secret deepens, his feelings for Tae-hee become real. I think the chemistry between the two main actors is phenomenal. I don't know why some people thought the main actress Park So Young, who plays Yoon Tae-hee, didn't like her performance. She is a singer. She's in a K-pop band called Red Velvet. I've only listened to Psycho, and I like that song. But yeah, people didn't like her performance. I thought she did a great job, especially with her and Wo Do-wan, who I love him. I have a list of K-drama actors that I adore, and he's on that list. He's very good looking and he is a good actor. Me saying as I've watched only one of his shows in completion and I'm currently watching another one of his. But I don't know, he's just good in those two things. Um, the show, they take care of each other, the main characters. I like that, even though it's like she's being deceived, which is like not okay whatsoever. They do really like each other and they do really take care of each other in like certain moments. um the friends are very manipulative, as well. That's where the Gossip Girl slash Cruel Intentions aspect comes in it. Like his friends who kind of made the bet, um, are not great friends, but like they kind of great in their own way a little bit. Like it's very twisted. It's a very twisted relationship between the three of them, but it's like it's very, yeah, it's melodramatic and it's great time. That's why I really liked it. It kind of reminded me of like high school, the high school dramas I used to watch in high school. But now it's based in like they're in university, which kind of like makes more sense and it's better as well. Like I don't understand why they want to keep making high school based drama shows where they have to do all these adult stuff when they're not adults at all. It's very confusing. Like Riverdale, like I just it doesn't make any sense. Speaking of Riverdale, I do think the parents in the show are very much useless. Not Riverdale parents are useless if you've watched Riverdale, but they are very One Tree Hill parent useless. Like they're around, but they're not really around. And they have their own like drama and their own life that they have to deal with as well, which is they were I think the most annoying part of it, some of the parents. Um except for one, except for Tehe's dad. He was fine. I mean, he wasn't there, but he was like fine. He listened to his daughter and like tried to help her um more than her mother, who was another complicated woman in herself. But yeah, I recommend the show if you like those teen drama, spicy kind of shows, melodramatic kind of shows like Gossip Girl and 90210. But like the kids not being in high school and actually being in university and actually learning as well. Like she goes to class and she does her work, which is a rare sight in American shows. So again, I recommend if you like um those kind of shows. On to the next one. 5, Touch Your Heart, which was released in 2019. Um, this is so sweet as well. It's so so as I spoke about the Goblin previously, not the Goblin, the Guardian. The two main actors in Touch Your Heart were also the two side characters in The Guardian. The Grim Reaper and Sunny, again the chicken store owner. They are the main characters here, and it kind of, to me, I like to think that it relates to the end of like what happened at the end of the Guardian is a continuation in Touch Your Heart, and I think it's so sweet. Um, so Touch Your Heart, a top actress, Oh Jin Shim, who goes by the stage name Oh Yeon Seo, has a scandal that damages her career, leaving her jobless for 2 years in order to get her role in a major upcoming television show. She agrees to get experience at a law firm working as a secretary to a lawyer named Kwon Jong-rok. Eventually, they fall in love, and the following events forms a crux of the story. It's so cute. Like they started off kind of as I love the enemies to lovers trope. They weren't really enemies, but they didn't like each other in the beginnings. But I like that kind of love story and growth in characters. They're very cute together, and it's like she wasn't really taken seriously in her industry. Like people thought she was dumb, but she's actually like really smart. Like I like the way she was written as well. But she's like she wanted to become a lawyer before she became an actress. But she just, put education aside and people just kept doing things for her. So she didn't really use her mind often. So I like that aspect of her, that there's more to her than what meets the eye. And then he is very like socially awkward. He doesn't really take to like staff dinners. He doesn't really want to get involved with other people. He's very standoffish and very professional, and let's get our work done and not have any kind of personal relationship. And I think they really balance each other out. Like she brings out this more fun and romantic and kind-hearted and open side to him, and he really pushes her to do more and want more for herself. And I really, that's why it's so high up on my list, because they really just help each other grow as people. And I think that's really kind of important in a relationship, and I think that they do a very good job in that, and it's very sweet. And yeah, it's great. It's so good. Again, there's not much conflict in here. Like there's like one or two areas of conflict, but at the end of it, you're not like, okay, there's no happy ending. You know that there's gonna be a happy ending, and you know that they're gonna overcome any adversities that they kind of face in the show, which is fine. Like not everything has to be so heavy and challenging, and I think the show kind of just it's not as lighthearted as What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, but I think it's just about there as well, and I think it's very cute. If you want to start with this one, mm, no, don't start with this one. If you want to watch this one, start with Guardian and then watch Touch Your Heart, because I think it kind of flows well together as well. And now on to my top three. Well, kind of my top three. This is kind of like another point five. My third one is no, my fourth one, because that was five. Yeah, my fourth one is Record of Youth. It's kind of a prediction, maybe. We haven't finished. I say we because my mom and my sister and I are watching it. We haven't finished it. The last two episodes come out today and Tuesday tomorrow. So I don't know. So far, it's done a good job. It might move depending on what happens at the end, but I really enjoy it so far. I think it's very cute and very, again, it just talks about couples and the battles that they have to go through when their careers are kind of blowing up and kind of taking them in separate directions. And there's also a secondary male lead, who seems like he might be a love interest, but we don't know. But I mean, again, there's two episodes left, so we kind of know. We kind of know what's gonna happen. But that's my prediction for the fourth place. That's why I don't want to say much about it. Again, there might be a part two where it shifts and moves, but that's where I think it's going to be. So I'm going to move on to the third one. Do I have a synopsis for this one? Okay, no, I just found it. This one, now we get the top three. Now we get into the category of perfect ending. Like everything, the story, the characters, the ending, nothing frustrated me. I mean, some things probably did, but they are like just minuscule to what perfection the show is and how it ended. But the top three, I think, had the best ending and the best stories and the best acting. And I love these top three with all my heart, and I highly recommend all of them. Not to start with, but to just watch them once you do get a hang of like K dramas, because I feel like, yeah, I think the time the time the K dramas that were made now and comparing them to K dramas that were made later on, like I'm currently watching Coffee Prince, which was released in 2007, I think. It's very different, like very different. And some 2016 ones as well are very different to how 2020 K dramas are kind of structured or told. Or but again, I haven't watched a lot, so I can't really be saying too much about it. But from what I've witnessed, again, my opinion might change in the future. Anyway, number three, Legend of the Blue Sea. I just finished this one. Yeah, I think last week. Last week I just finished this one. I absolutely love it. It's so cute. It features a mermaid, and fun fact about me, if I could be any supernatural or mystical creature, I would be a mermaid or a witch. I think they are so great. That's so weird to say, but I mean it. If I could be a mermaid, I would. If I could be a witch, I would. In like kind of what like parallel universe or world, that would be fantastic. I would wish to be those two things, one of those two things. But anyway, The Legend of the Blue Sea is about a mermaid. The series centers on the love story of Shim Chong, a mermaid, and Hugh Jonje, a witty con artist, focusing on rebirth, fate, and unrequited love. Their tale is juxtaposed with the parallel story of their of the Joseon era incarnations. The mermaid Sewa and the town head Kim Dam Ryong. Yeah. It's not about the Little Mermaid. But unfortunately this mermaid does come on land and want to stay on land for a man. But that's to each their own. But as for me personally, no. I would never change my life for a man. Well, I hope I wouldn't. I'm getting distracted. So Legendary of the Blue Sea, I think it's great. I think okay. I started watching I watched one or two episodes of The King, Eternal Monarchy. It's another K drama that I'm watching now. But I started with that one and I was like, okay. I heard some good things about Lee Min Ho, who is the main character in Legend of the Sea and The King. But I was like, okay, I'm not really feeling this guy, and I want to know why people think he's very charismatic and whatnot. And then I watched the show, and I was like, oh, okay, no, I get it. I get why he's so popular and why everyone loves him. He's been around for a while as well, and he's only 33 years old. But he was in a popular one that other people mentioned, Boys Over Flowers and The Heirs, and I think those were like made it also like 2000s, maybe late 2000s, early 2000s. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, people love those two shows and they love him, and I get it. The man's charismatic. Like he just has this way about him and how he acts. He feels like he's having fun and playing with the role that he's in this one. So I watched this one. This the after deciding to watch The King. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Let me start the sentence again. I watched The King and then I watched Legend of the Blue Sea, because I wanted to watch The King. I wanted to watch Kim Go In, who is also in The Guardian. So I was like, okay, let me just watch Legend of the Sea, and I get it, and I am excited to watch The King and continue The King because both of them are great, but also in this one the two main characters are great and their chemistry is amazing and the ending is perfect. Like they just hit every point with it. I didn't like the time jump, but it was fine. It wasn't too hectic. Like nothing too chaotic happened in that time jump in the show, but like they could have done without that part, I think, maybe. um but again, the ending's perfect. That's why it's in third place, just because of the time jump. But I like it's literally just the smallest nitpicking thing. I think it's a great show. I think also you could start with this one as a K, like your first K drama. It's good. It's a good one. I highly recommend. The conflict as well is really great. It's about the conflict is really good. Like they get it right. This is the kind of conflict that I want to see in my shows, where everyone just it helps and it aids in character development and character growth. And this is what the conflict, out of all three of them, yeah, all three of them do that. Like the conflict in the show help and aid in character development, and it's not too annoying and it's not too frustrating where I'm like screaming at my screen. Like it's the right amount, and it's written really well in all three of the top my in all three of my top three, Why is it so hard to get out a sentence? Jesus. Anyway, I highly recommend. It's perfect. 10 out of 10. Is there anything else I wanted to say about this one? No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, it's great. It's good. Go watch it. Go watch it if you want to like this one, Legend. What's Wrong with Secretary Kim? Those are the two I recommend to watch as like an introduction. And now on to my top two. Oh my god, okay. My top two. This was difficult for me. These might shift the top two, but anyway, my second one is Ito One Class 2020. 2020. It was released. The second entry of Park Se-jeon. Again, like I said, I'm in love with this man. Anyway, the show is about. Okay, the synopsis, I couldn't really find a good synopsis. Yeah, I couldn't really find a good synopsis. I think I just found this one on Asian Wiki. It's kind of long, and I don't think I'm gonna read the whole thing. I'm just gonna give you the gist of what happens. Sorry. On the first day of attending his new high school, Park Se-royi punches his classmate Jang Kwan-won, who was bullying another classmate. The bully is the son of CEO Jang Dae-hee. The bully's father runs a restaurant business, Jang Jang, where Park Se-royi's own father works. The CEO demands that Park Se-royi apologize to his son, but Park Se-royi refuses. Because of his refusal, Park Se-royi gets expelled from school and his father gets fired from his job. Soon, an accident takes place. Park Se-royi's father dies in a motorcycle accident caused by his ex-classmate. Burning with anger, Park Se-ori viciously beats Jang Kwan-won. He is soon arrested and receives prison time for the violent assault. Park Se-royi decides to destroy Jang Company and take revenge upon the CEO and his son. Once Park Se-royi is released from prison, he opens his own restaurant in Itaewon, Seoul. Jo Yi-seo, who is popular on social media, joins Park Se-ori's restaurant and works there as a manager. She has feelings for Park Se-royi. Wow. Yeah, that's the gist of it. So many other things happen. The show is about it's so good in what like how it portrays its themes. Again, it's about classism, respect, and honor and pride. There's even a couple of episodes about racism and transphobia because there's a black man in the show who speaks Korean fluently, and it's the first time. Again, I haven't watched many K dramas, but this is the first time I've seen a black semi main character. Like he kind of gets pushed to the side along the way, but like he has like speaking lines and a kind of plot line as well in the story. So we kind of deal with racism as well, and there's a trans character as well in the story, and we deal with transphobia. But again, like it's like in the beginning and it kind of trails off, but it's very the characters and the main characters are very supportive of one another, and it's a very like family like. And because Park Se-ori didn't really have much of a family because his father died, which was so heartbreaking in the beginning. Again, also spoiler, I think I wish I didn't tell you, but anyway, it doesn't matter, I'm already here. Yeah, he didn't have much of a family because his mom also wasn't around, and the family that he kind of develops and gains along the way and opening this restaurant is it's so beautiful and it's so good, and it's so heartfelt as well. They hit every point and it's so good. Like this romance as well, it's not the forefront of the story. It's more about overcoming the adversity and becoming your own person and reaching your goals and being ambitious and just fighting for what you believe in. And Park Seo-joon does such a good job into me, like the lead character as well. Like you really root for. He's such an underdog in the beginning, and you really root for him as time goes by and as he grows as a character as well. And also the female characters are also, I feel like, are written really well. Especially the main one who likes Park Se-roi. What's her name again? It's like right here as well. Jo Yi Seo. Yi Seo. She is so powerful. She was so young when they started out. Like there's a couple of time jumps, I think around 5 or 4, but like they're well placed and well needed, I guess. But yeah, anyway, Yi Seo, she she's written so well, and she's so strong and also kind of vulnerable as well. Um, and she really just goes after what she wants, and I think that's why these are my top two, like Itaewon Class and the one I'm going to talk about just now. But the female characters, I absolutely adore them, and I love the actresses. They did such a good job, and they're not just there to act as the main character's love interest, but they actually have their own development and their own growth as characters as well. And it's fantastic to see. I think they did such a good job on her as well. She's really ballsy, and she really wants what she wants, and she like works for it as well. Um there is a heartbreaking moment though when he Park Seori doesn't no he yeah okay no so in the Goblin, I keep referring to it as the Goblin because I think that's what it's called on Netflix, but it's called The Guardian. How the age gap kind of frustrated me, and this one as well. Park Seori and Iseo, Joy Iseo, also have an age gap. Like she's really young, but Park Seori doesn't. He's like, no, I can't be in a relationship with you because I see you as this like you're so young, and I don't see you in that kind of capacity. And then as the time jumps go, and as they kind of grow together as business partners, he kind of just makes that shift. And I think that's how the romance should have been done in the beginning. Like he was older, I think maybe 10 years minimum, I'm not quite sure. um but I think the way they did it in Itaewon Class was better than how they did it in Guardian. So that's why it's here and not lower than it should be, because then I'll just be a hypocrite. But yeah, this show is really great, and I highly, highly recommend it. If you want to watch it as your first one, I mean, go ahead. It's very modern as well. Like, Ito one is very diverse. There you see white people, black people. Those are the only two races you see me saying it's diverse, but as diverse as an Asian country can be, you know. Um, but yeah, again, it's a good time. Everyone does a great job. The acting, oh, and the relationship between Park Seo-yi and the CEO who wronged him. What was his name again? Jang De Jang De-hee. Jang De-hee. So good. Like there's so much respect, but also competition between them, and they better each other in a way. They really step up the game. I mean, what they do to each other is not, well, mainly the CEO, then Park Seori, but and the CEO's son, but they just respect each other on a like an they understand what work is and how to achieve what you want to achieve. Like Park Seori had such high goals. Oh my god, the underdog story. I'm literally just thinking about it is just getting me. I want to rewatch it honestly. I want to rewatch the my top two. But that's literally what I can say without going on and giving too much detail about the show. I'm gonna move on to the my first. I finished this one in quarantine, and when did I finish it? In July or June. I watched it when it also like first came out. When they first they come out weekly, and they come out in 2 episodes each week. And I watched it during then, and it was upsetting because I had to wait each week for the next episode. But anyway, um it's really good, and this is the first K drama I actually cried my eyes out at the end, because the ending is just perfect, like to perfection. It is so good. So it's about Mang Gang-tae, who lives with his autistic older brother, Mon Sang-tae. Each spring, they move to a new city out of fear of butterflies. Ever since Sang-tae witnessed their mother's murder, Gang-tae takes up jobs as a caretaker in a psychiatric ward. At every place they settle in, while working in a hospital, he meets a famous children's book writer, Ko Moon-young, for whom some people talk about antisocial personality disorder, following which circumstances lead Gang-tae to work at the OK Psychiatric Hospital in Songjin City, the same city where they all lived when they were younger. Meanwhile, Ko Moon-young forms a romantic obsession. I don't like that they use obsession for Moon Gang-tae after finding out she shared a past with him. She follows him to Seongjin City. Oh my god, my pronunciation. Yeah, I apologize. Where the trio slowly begins to heal each other's emotional wounds. As the story progresses, the truth behind their intertwining past that has been haunting them is also revealed. I don't like that they use obsessed. She wasn't obsessed. Yeah, that bothers me. Anyway, um, a great, like so many topics and so many themes touched in this one: mental health, emotional abuse, not physical abuse, but mental health, emotional abuse, love, relying on one another. Um, it talks to how what happened in your past can really follow you as an adult if you don't really confront it as well. All the relationships are flushed out. Everyone, all the side characters. I was never bored. Like I never watched an episode and went, oh, okay, now we're gonna follow this character story. That's not really entertaining. I was interested. I really liked how each side character helped in growing and in teaching the main characters how to really be there for one another and love each other, and have this community of people to you can support on, because the two main characters really didn't have that when they were growing up, because their parents really, well, the Moon brothers' parents weren't around, and Ko Moon Young's mother, could I say, yeah, Moon Young's mother and father were also just not really good people and good to her as parents. So this just, it's about love and community and acceptance, and it's so good. It's so very good. Everyone does such a good job, but especially the actor that plays Moon Sang-tae, Oh Jong-se. Oh my god, the way I think he played the autistic brother, I think, perfectly. I don't know that I don't know anyone who's autistic, and I haven't been around people who are autistic, so I can't really speak to how they actually behave. But I think that Oh Jong-se did a good job in representing autistic people, even though there's like a spectrum as to how autistic you can be. Um, he does a good job. And I hope he wins like all the awards in whatever awards need to be won in order for him to be like recognized for his work. He does such a good job. I absolutely love the show so much. Again, the actress, Kwon Mun Young, who plays Kwon Mun Young, Se Yi Ji. Oh, I love her. I love her so much. She does such a good, and her outfit. Oh my god, I didn't even mention this in most of them, but I loved every single piece of clothing that she wore on the show. Um, her character as well. She's strong. She's like vulnerable. Um, what else? What else is she? She's a badass. She wants what she wants. She's not afraid to say what she wants. And she just needs to be hugged because she wasn't when she was young. And I think she also just did a good job, the actress. And I just wanted to be her friend at the end of the day. My mom didn't like her in the beginning. She wasn't going to finish the show, I think. I don't know if she did. I have to check. But yeah, she really made the show for me, as well as the brother, Moon Sang-tae. Like those two characters I absolutely adored. The ending was perfect. Each of them just grew how they needed to grow, and they went off to their respective destinations at the end of the show, and it was just perfect. Everything was perfect. Even the conflict. Like some people, I think mentioned that they didn't really find the conflict or the obstacle that the characters had to go through as fulfilling. But I mean, there were other issues that had to be dealt with each of the characters as well. So I don't really think that the conflict was that hindering to the story. I think it did a good job. I think because the characters had other issues to deal with and other had other ways to grow. I think that the conflict, like the main conflict, wasn't um as bad as other people are saying. I think it was a good job. I think they did a good job there. But I also highly recommend this one. It's okay not to be okay. Like just perfection. Perfection, perfection. I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed. Insert Nicki Minaj. I think yeah, I can stop there. God, I've talked for a while. I didn't expect it to be this long, but I mean, what do I expect? I was talking about K dramas. I have a lot to say. I highly recommend watching a K drama. Um, I'm not gonna say at least one because no, but at least five. Just to get like the full scope of the world. It's really great. I don't think I have anything much to say now. Um, yeah, I really just wanted to talk about my K dramas and my babies and why I loved them and kind of was irritated by some of them. Many of the last ones. They're so good and they're so entertaining, and it's literally all I've been watching. Like I try to watch other shows. Like what am I currently watching? Oh, Haunting of Bile Manor. We Are Who We Are. That's literally the two English speaking shows I'm currently watching because I'm also watching five K dramas at the same time. I mean, it's ridiculous if you think about it. Five K dramas with 1 hour episodes. Like, what? I mean, to be fair, two of them come out once a week. So basically three. But still, it's a lot. It's a lot and it's great. Top tier entertainment, honestly. I already have next episode planned as well. It's gonna be kind of somewhat interactive. There's gonna be a link that I'm gonna leave. Interactive. I don't mean like I'm gonna be live streaming or anything like that. I'm gonna be. Um, can you call it a game? One of those bracket games. You know when you have like a show versus a show, and like you kind of eliminate until you get to a winner. That's the kind of game I'm gonna be playing. Um, on HBO shows. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about this episode as well because I really just wanted to talk about these K dramas. I honestly did, and I didn't have a platform to do that, so I was like, you know what, a podcast where people can hear my voice and I could just stumble through my words and have no editing whatsoever. I'm trying my best. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. This is very long, and I don't want to make it any longer. I hope you like. If you stayed through the whole thing, I hope you did something while listening. And I hope you really do take my recommendations because I think they were so good, and I think more people should watch them and talk about them and experience them. I'm most definitely gonna do a part two because I'm most definitely gonna be watching more as they come out. Also, there's like old ones as well that need to be watched. So look out for that. It's gonna be far into the future though. I think that's it though. Yeah. Okay. Well, um, thank you for listening once again. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.